Welcome back to The Clueless Father, and in this segment what we're going to talk about is the financial aspect of having a child. Now, if you're a billionaire, you're probably not watching this, and if you're a millionaire, you're probably not watching this either. But for the rest of us, there are things that you should be aware of going into having a child because it can be expensive. I know you've all heard that having it can be expensive. Well, believe me, it starts early. So let's quickly go through the things that are going to cost money and the things that you should pay attention to just to see how you want to go about getting prepared for your child. Now, there are two ways you can get prepared for your child. The first is fully prepared before the kid arrives. Everything that could possibly be needed, done, installed in your house, ready to go ahead of time. And the second way to go is with just the minimum requirements as your finances allow. Now, I'm the type of guy who, even if I have to work harder, work a second job to get everything ready ahead of time, I rather get it ready as fast as possible so I don't have to worry about it later. And instead I can concentrate on the child arriving and actually enjoying when my child arrived. And that is how I did it. It was a bit harder financially on me, but in the end I felt it paid dividends quite well. That's what I recommend if you can. If you can't, then just as I go through the stuff that you might need, assess what you need to get and when you need to get it. So let's go through some categories here. So the first thing you need to do is just assess your financial state. If it's not something to worry about, don't worry about it. Just realize that what you are going to have to pay attention to is how much are the medical visits to the doctor is going to cost, the ultrasounds and things like that. How much are the vitamins and supplements that mom's going to need to be taking going to cost? How much are the clothes that mom's going to need as she grows going to cost? How much are the clothes for the baby going to cost, plus the fabrics for the baby, such as the towels and stuff like that? How much is it going to cost to get the house ready for the baby, such as a baby room, the cribs, and the other baby furniture? How much are the baby accessories going to cost? How much are all the hygiene items for the baby going to cost? Those are pretty much the main categories you need to worry about. The other big category is the hospital and the delivery of the child. Now, maybe you have health insurance or other things that cover that. We didn't have a planned pregnancy, so we found out 3 months into it, and pretty much no one would accept it at that point, so we pretty much got hit with the full weight of the cost of having to pay for everybody at the hospital and the hospital itself. So if you can avoid that, do so. It'll save you about $4,000 or $5,000. So you sort of have to assess the list of those things and see, how much is all this going to cost me? Lay it out in Excel or a spreadsheet program of your choice and just do a budget on it. I can tell you that depending how you do it, it can cost you anywhere between $2,000 and $15,000. So it's something worth putting some time and attention on just to make sure that you're not doing it foolishly. Really take the time to budget it out and make sure that you are spending within your means, and if that's something you care about, and also that you're either preparing as you can or everything ahead of time. Now, there is a question you can ask yourself is, well, there's a lot of stuff to get, but when do I need to get it? Really? You should be fully ready by week 34. You know, most pregnancies goes up to week 40. It's good to be done and settled ahead of time. You're not really going to want to start picking things until you know what sex your baby is, whether it's a boy or it's a girl, or if it's twins. Double the fun. And you'll probably find that out about week 20 to 25. So that still gives you about 10 weeks following that, maybe even 15 weeks following that, to get everything fully under control. So don't panic about it. Just realize that at some point you're going to have to set aside time to do it. You can do it gradually, or you can go crazy and do it all at once. Your choice. Now, if you are in the position where you require financial help, realize that there is no shame in that. There's no problem with that. Good parents love helping other parents. We have stuff around the house that we never used beyond the first or second month with our own kid. And rather than throw it away, it's practically brand new. We like finding other parents who are having kids and giving it to them as a gift for their child. Trust me, any good parent in the world will tell you the same thing. It's cool to help other parents have kids. So don't be embarrassed to ask. Get the word out. However, if you don't want to do that, there is another great way to get a lot of the stuff you need and a lot of help, which is really easy and really fun. This is called a baby shower. Now, I know you think baby shower, that's just something that chicks do. Well, I think that's really an antiquated way of viewing baby showers, because it's actually a great time for all your friends to come together and really help you out. It lets them contribute to your child, and it makes it a fun activity. One small thing I'll comment on here, which is that if you were like my wife and I, we had to make a decision, which is we're both working adults. And we had to make the choice as to whether mom was going to stay at home and take care of the baby, or we were going to get a nanny to have to do that. Now that's a choice that you and she need to make, and it does have a lot to do with your financial position. But think about it. Do you really want someone else raising your child? Or is it worth it to do a little bit harder work for yourself and to make the money that would otherwise be made? There's also other options you can explore that mom can work at home, but it's something to think about, because if that's what your current situation is, it's going to affect you. So those are some things. I'm not trying to be your financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just trying to give you some things that you need to think about that are going to hit you when you go into having a pregnancy and a birth and a child coming up. I hope it's been helpful, and thanks for watching. I hope you come back to see more on The Clueless Father.